Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Smith, the In the Black VTF here in Chicago for T3 Live, and a little bit of a lackluster session as far as the broader averages are concerned. However, there was some good trading opportunities, and a few things I talked about this morning. I'm going to reiterate this afternoon for next week. So we had a little bit of a little gyration out of the Yellen, but not like the old Bernanke used to do for us. So that little bit of volatility was enough to get a few things moving, but other things really didn't care, just took control. And let's take a look at some charts and see what went on today, so we can get a little preview for next week. So let's take a look here at the S&P Spider. And we got Spider going up towards the highs. You can see forming this broadening formation here. Now we go up and close towards the highs of it. We want to see if we can get through that next week. We're still on a monthly buy, still bullish engulfing on the month, going into new highs, and Mercer goes to new highs this week, just not today. So if you take a look at the daily SPY, you see this here, and just a little stop them out here, but not the end of the world. There's an old triangle here, old support, just sitting right there. We're running out of month, and we got Labor Day coming up. It's, as far as today was concerned, like I said, not too much in the broader averages, but what was a tell here as far as backing off just a touch, if you take a look at the 15 SPY, is that after the opening moves around here, you can see that since here, and then here, 5 consecutive lower highs. Not the end of the world, but that led to a little pullback in the afternoon. Nothing really to write home about, but there was a lot of good stuff to go after today, I tell you. GMCR, and if you take a look at GMCR, oftentimes you'll hear me talk about these broadening formations, and when we get a gap towards them, that usually can tell us whether we're going to get a gap in reverse or a gap and go, and that's exactly what we got on GMCR. Right back to the top of the formation, took off. There's plenty of good entry points on 5s and 15s and all that kind of stuff. There's a nice inside 5er there, 5-minute reversal strat. So there's a lot of good ways to get in there nice and early. So that certainly was a highlight of the day. You also had Netflix putting on a little clinic of her own, going back towards the highs here. That was real nice. We also had LinkedIn, and why people keep talking about shorting something like this is beyond me, because this is really strong stuff. You've got here the consolidation here like this, upper level triangle here, and then bang, zoom, off she goes. And one of the things I point out is one of the chart patterns we watch too is a monthly momentum hammer, and that's what we have in LinkedIn right here. And the reason it's called a momentum hammer as opposed to here, bottoming hammer, which your classical technical analysis calls the bottom, but when you have that within a trend, and so this would be considered a trend because it's a series of higher highs and higher lows, that what it represents is the potential that anybody who was short this thing had their chance and didn't cover, came back up and got jammed this month, and it's cost them all month to try and get out. So we look for buy signals amongst that, and you can see how well that worked. We also had a nice inside day and upper out of the Trip Advisor. And if you look at this, that's why we watch the inside days. Consolidate, 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 and bang. Real nice move out of the Trip. Also had stuff that you could watch for the gap in reverse and the DYN. That was nice. We had some midday action out of this NSR, and that was great. It popped up, and that was all she wrote. And all you got to do is get yourself an inside 5er right here, get a little short, and ride her into the dirt. And some of us did that, so that was pretty nice there. Even when it was chopping late, if you look at the FAS, and one of the reasons we like to trade the triples is even though there's nothing going on, some of these inside bar breaks are enough to make a little bit of money. So if you see an inside 15 like this, became a buy here, breaking above 104.65, and she pops up just a little bit, but then goes back inside, then short below here at 104.65 again, and right back down. So you get nice scalping back and forth in there. What I talked about this morning is still valid as far as next week. And one of the things, those energies we're going to be looking at, you can see the OIH on the weekly, just another doji, and the XLE still in this tight range here, and what we call the reversal strategy, because it went outside of the inside bar and comes back in. So potential trouble breaking below this week's lows in the XLE and the OIH. But we've got in those things, we've got Schlumberger stays an inside week, Halliburton as an inside week. We've got Devon Energy stays as an inside week. You've got EOG as an inside week. All these energies we're going to be keeping an eye on, even XEC, and I'm sure there's a few more, but just putting this together right at the end of the day. A couple of charts I thought I might share with you that are looking a little interesting coming into next week and next month. If you take a look at Lulu, and Lulu goes inside week here, and if you look at the monthly, if Lulu's going to turn around, right now it's about to go inside an inside month here. So if this thing's really toast, goes inside month, and then drops off the cliff. However, if this is just a correction within the major trend, you take out all the stops in here, you're going to have yourself inside month there for Lulu's. Certainly going to be keeping an eye on that coming up. You got an inside week to help that out, and even if it takes that out, it would still be inside month. So for September, certainly keeping an eye on how this Lulu plays out. For next week, let's take a look at the price line. And the price line, remember, is still inside month and up above 1264.50, so it holds there. It was challenged this week with a shooting star off the top of the triangle, but then counters and comes back doji, which is good. If we take a look here, the way that formed today is an outside bar, and oftentimes you look for outside bars on tops and bottoms to see if we can get a turnaround here, because that's going to be potentially a triangle to go back up. And so if it holds back here, starts taking out today's highs next week, it's back with green on the day, week 60, and the inside month and up. So I really want to watch how price line comes out of there. All right, so to sum it up, that it's summertime. We're coming into the Labor Day holiday, when people traditionally want to take some time off. However, we're still going around the highs, and you can't argue with new highs. Whether there's volume or not, doesn't matter. Highs, prices, the price is right, when it comes down to trading, what the market's doing. So just keep an eye on these oils to see if they can generate more strength to the upside, as they're a major sector, obviously, in the S&P, or if they can trigger a little bit more of a pullback next week. Going to watch that price line, going to watch that Lulu. Going to see what happens over the weekend. The world's somewhat unstable so far. Market doesn't care, and that's a good thing as far as trading from the long side. So that's going to do it for this week. I'll see you Monday morning on the VTF. I'm Rob Smith of the In the Black VTF here at T3 Live. You all have a great weekend.